Hey everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please PaperCrafts. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a couple of different things. I'm going to share some cards that I created during the month of August with the Spellbinders club kits. And then I'm going to give you guys an update on my new craft room. And then last, I'm going to share the buttons that I just added to the button shop for August. Okay, so I'm going to start off by sharing the cards. The first three cards that I have here, I created using the August card kit from Spellbinders. And this first card, I used 3 of the pattern papers from the paper pad that's included. And I did this really fun technique that I saw someone do recently in a card baking video on YouTube. And I can't remember who it was, but I just thought this was super cool. I put this striped pattern paper onto an A2 size card. And then I took some more pattern paper and I just layered it onto the card at an angle. And then I flipped the card upside down and then just trimmed off the excess. And it was just a really fun way to add this angled piece here. I think it looks really cute. And I think that's a really cool technique. Super easy to do because you don't have to figure out, you know, how far to cut this or how to angle this, because you just glue it right to the page and then just trim around it. Okay, so I used this sentiment that says some friendships are timeless. A chipboard piece that has a little teacup with flowers in it. And then I also added some enamel dots. These are from Gnmarie Designs. She has the most gorgeous enamel dots. And I will put links in the description below to the Spellbinders website where you can find all the information about how to join the clubs. And then I'll also put a link to Gnmarie Designs website where you can find these enamel dots. Okay, so the next card that I have here, I also used a couple of different pattern papers, this one with the butterflies and then this polka dot. And I layered those with some black cardstock and then added a bird, this little bird cage. And then the sentiment says, "You are free to fly." And then I added some more of the Gnmarie Designs enamel dots. It's so pretty. I just love this so much. And then all of these little pieces here, these 2 pieces came from the die cuts that are included in the card kit, and this is a chipboard piece. Okay, so that's the second card. And then the last card that I created is this one here. I used some more pattern paper. This is a really pretty floral. And then they had these vellum butterflies. They're just so gorgeous. These butterflies are just absolutely beautiful. And so I put 2 of those butterflies on there, and then I used some honeybee gems, little clear gem stickers, onto the center of the butterflies. And then this piece here, which is the sentiment, it says, "Captured in my heart forever," is a chipboard piece. I just love these butterflies. I would love to have more of those. Might have to see if they have those available in the Spellbinder store. A lot of times they do have the individual pieces from the card kit available as extras. Sometimes they do. So maybe they might have those butterflies. I might need to check. Okay, so this next card I created using the Stamp and Die kit from August. And it's this really pretty floral. And what I did was I used some watercolors and inks, and I created all of the little flowers. And then I just layered those, and I popped some of those up on the foam tape. Let's see if y'all can see the dimension. And then the sentiment I created using the Glimmer kit, and it says "Sending Happiness." And then this little frame was one of the dies that came in the card kit. So I cut that out twice in 2 different patterns of paper, and I just used the one yellow pattern, or the one I cut out from the yellow paper as the outline, and the inside from the blue paper. And then I added on some sequins just to give it a little bit more sparkle. I love adding sequins and enamel dots. It just makes the card, just gives it a little bit of sparkle, and I love that. Okay, so this last card I created using papers from the card kit. And then this piece here, which is a floral, I used the glimmers that's included for the month of August. This is the glimmers kit. And then these dies here came from the card kit. And then I just added on some more sequins here. And these sequins are really pretty. They came from one of the card kits that I had from a couple months ago. And I just think they're super pretty. They don't have holes in them. And I just love how those sparkle. And then I also did put a couple little of the gemstones on the flowers here, and then also in the center of the butterflies. And that's the last card that I created. So I just moved recently. I think it's been about 5 weeks now. And so I haven't really had a lot of time to create cards or scrapbook layouts. But I did want to share the ones that I created during the month of August. So I did injure my thumb, and I have a Band-Aid on my thumb right now. But when I recorded the part of the video that you're going to see where I shared the buttons, I didn't have a Band-Aid on this, and I just want to tell y'all I'm sorry that I didn't cover that up with a Band-Aid, and my injury looks a lot worse than it actually is. But I did I was using a drill with a screwdriver tip on it, and I accidentally screwed into my hand instead of into the screw. So that's what the injury was, but it's healing up really well, and so yeah, it's fine. But just in case y'all are wondering, that's why my thumb looks like it does later in the video when I'm sharing the buttons. Okay, so I thought I would give you guys an update on the craft room. So I moved in about a month ago, and unfortunately there was a problem with the tub in the master bathroom. And on this wall, they had to take the baseboards off and put holes in the wall to get to the tub so they could fix the problem. And it took them about a month to finish it all because we had to have the plumber, then the carpenter, and then the painters. And finally, a couple days ago, they finally finished, and I was able to move the furniture back up against this wall and try to see if I could come up with a floor plan and furniture placement. And so I ended up putting 3 of my Kallax units along this wall, and you'll notice the drawers are sideways right now because these used to be the other way. They were vertical, and I decided to make them horizontal because I'm planning to put things on the top and just make it a little bit more accessible. And I don't want to have too much in the room. I want to put some artwork on the walls and just kind of make it more of a calming space. And then in the middle of the room here, I have this table. I'm not sure if that's going to stay or not. I did want to kind of have an island, but I'm thinking this might be a little bit too big. And so I might try to change that later, but I'm trying to work with the furniture that I have that I brought over from my other house. And this table here, I don't think y'all have ever seen this table, but this was in another room in my other house. This was the table that I used to use for my job. I was a computer programmer, and I worked from home for about 7 years, and I had this ergonomic workstation set up, and I used to have like monitors and everything that were like mounted to the tabletop, so they have some holes there. But yeah, this is an adjustable table. It goes up and down, and it tilts back and forth. So I thought that would be kind of cool to make this into my craft table. And then over here, I have a couple more tables. I'm thinking about putting the computer over there and possibly making part of that my filming station, because I kind of want a dedicated space to film videos so that I'm not always having to move stuff out of the way to film a video. And so that's kind of my thought process there, but I will kind of still playing around with the placement of all the furniture here. And then over on this side, I did put 4 Alex drawer units, and then I put a Kallax on top. And I was actually looking at what I needed to do to take the drawers out. So I took the drawers out of the unit, and then I had to unscrew this and then just take it apart. And I'll have to figure out where I want those drawers to go. Unfortunately, it's going to leave holes, but I think it should be okay because I'm going to put stuff in there and you probably won't notice it. Okay, and then I'll give you a little bit of a peek. I've been unpacking. So that's where all the stuff is. I was trying to get my furniture placement and just make sure that my room was all set up before I started really, loading it up and putting stuff in here, because I don't want to end up with putting a bunch of stuff in here and then having to move it because I've already done way too much moving of stuff. Okay, so I have a closet over here, so I was going to go over here and show y'all the closet. I've been working on the closet, trying to put in all the shelving, and I still have some work to do in here, but I think a lot of this is already done. So I put in this 𝗬𝗵𝭲 shelving that's from the Container Store, and down here I have another one of the Kallax units. And then this is where all of my cubes went that were in my craft room. I decided that I wanted all of this storage to be hidden, and I have some more shelves here, and then I'm gonna have some more shelves there in the back. That part's not finished yet. I ran out of anchors and I had to buy some more anchors, and I'm waiting for those to get delivered. And so I'm gonna be working on that hopefully this coming week and getting all of that finished up with the rest of the shelving in here. And so you can see here I have all of these cubes down here, and it's a little bit of a narrow closet just because it is a walk-in closet, but it's 5 feet. So once I got everything in here, it is a little bit more closed in than I was hoping it would be, but I still think it's going to be workable. I want to say it's probably about like 30 inches between these shelves over here and the ones over here. And then up here, I did some solid shelving. This comes from Rubbermaid, these laminate shelves. And these are, I believe they're 10 inches. So they're not going to stick out as far. So I thought that would be really nice. And it's nice to have some solid shelving to store some things. Sometimes things don't always sit really well on the wire shelves. And then the last thing I have to do in here, I guess there's 2 more things I have to do. I have to try to figure out the spacing on the shelving and put the rest of the shelves up. I just want to try to figure out what's gonna go where because these iris cases fit really well on these shelves vertically like this. I just have to make sure that when I put the different shelves here, I have enough space for that to fit. And so I was just trying to see if I could figure out where things are gonna go so I can make sure that I have room to fit the things that I want to fit here. And then the last thing that I need to do is to take these 2 shelving units. These are 𝗂𝗵𝗆𝗆. They are over the door shelving units. But when I moved from Texas to Louisiana, they broke this one here. I don't know if you can see that, it's all cracked. And so when that happened, I got the idea that I would just go ahead and mount this to the wall. And so instead of hanging it on the back of a door, I just have it mounted to the wall. And that's what I did in my other craft room. And I'm going to do the same thing here on this shallow wall here as you walk into the closet. I'm going to have those 2 𝗂𝗵𝗆𝗆 units. And then this DVD bookshelf over here is from IKEA. That's the, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's the 𝗕𝗵𝗵, 𝗕𝗵𝗵𝗆. And then here's all the shelving that goes into the 𝗂𝗵𝗆𝗆. So one of the things I love about this 𝗂𝗵𝗆𝗆 is that it's all adjustable shelving, and it has the holes there so you can decide where you want each shelf to be. And I just love adjustable shelving. So that was something I really like. These are really expensive, but when I bought mine, I bought them from Costco about, I would say it's got to be about maybe 15 or more years ago, and so that it was a little bit more reasonable. Now they're pretty pricey, but you can still find the 𝗂𝗵𝗆𝗆, and I'll put a link to where you can find that in the description below, and you can purchase right from their website. I don't know that the Container Store still sells these, but they might. Okay, so that's pretty much my whole craft room and the closet. And once I start putting more stuff in here and making some more decisions about where stuff is going to go, I'll give you guys another update, and y'all can just come along on the journey of setting up my craft room. I am going to be working on a craft room tour of my old craft room. I am in the process of unpacking and still have not found my microphone that I need to do voiceovers. Somehow that got lost, and it's probably in a box somewhere. But as soon as I find that, I'm going to do the work on that video, do the voiceover. I also have some video footage from when I did a tour of my craft room closet from my old house. And so I'll share that with you as well. And you can kind of see the differences between the old house and the new one. Okay, so I thought I would give you guys an update on my progress with unpacking. So I've been unpacking for about a week now, and I'm making quite a bit of progress. I decided that I would put 3 of my Kallax units along this wall, and I'm going to put my collections in the first 2 Kallax units, and then above that on the top I'm going to put my scrap rack, and then the flip bins with my 12 by 12 paper. And then on the last Kallax down here, I'm going to put more frequently used tools and things that I would need to reach for when I'm working on a project. Okay, and then the placement of the tables, I'm not too sure about that yet. I'm still working on that. I'm probably going to make some changes here. This is kind of an awkward corner. Corners are hard to work with because when you put tables into a corner, you kind of lose that space. And I'm still kind of contemplating how I want to lay the furniture out. And I'm thinking about making some changes, but for now, I have it set up this way. I did get the TV mounted onto the wall. And then over here on this side, I have 4 Alex drawer units and then a tabletop on top of that, and then a Kallax unit on top of that one. And the other thing I've been working on is I took all of the drawer units out because they were sideways in the unit, because these Kallax units were in my old craft room were vertical, and now I have them horizontal. So I took all the drawers out, and I'm trying to decide where I want the drawers to go. And right now I have 4 of the drawer sets in here. I don't have them installed yet. I just want to make sure that that's really where I want them to go before I install it, because you do have to put screws in and it makes holes in the Kallax unit. So I want to make as least holes as possible, so I need to make sure that's really where it's going to go. But here's the closet. I'm still working on this as well, but I did get all of my shelving in and started to put things in here. I'm trying to figure out the best place for everything to go. This is where all of my Michaels and Hobby Lobby cubes went. These are the old Jet Max cubes, and I have all my paper pads in here, and then 6x6 paper pads and stamps and just all kinds of stuff. I'm not exactly 100% sure where everything's going to go yet, and I'm just trying to figure out the best place for things to live. I also have all my scrapbooking albums in here, and then these are all of my finished layouts up here that I have in iris containers. So yeah, I am making progress. I think this is pretty good after just a week. And yeah, so I'm excited. And it's going to be a little bit more work. I'm hoping maybe in another week or 2, this is going to be mostly put away. And then I still have some things out here that I'm unboxing. And everything's quite a mess right now, but I guess that's what happens when you move. Right, Miss Bella? Okay, well, I guess when I make some more progress in here, I'll try to see if I can give you guys another update. But that's all I have, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over and show you the new buttons that were just added to the button shop in August. Okay, so I wanted to share the new buttons that I just added to the button shop for August. These are all buttons that are part of the August release, and there are 9 new bundles. And you can buy the buttons in my button shop either in the bundle, or you can buy them individually, and you can just pick out the ones that you would like to have. You don't have to buy the entire bundle. The bundles are on sale for 20% off, and I can't remember the date that it goes through, but I'll put it up here on the screen. Okay, so this first bundle is called the August Days bundle. It has 12 buttons in it, and these are all buttons that are color coordinated to go together. And they're just everyday buttons, and there's a button for the month of August in there as well. Okay, so the second bundle is the August Days patterns, and this is the 12 buttons down here at the bottom. These buttons are coordinated, color coordinated to go with the August Days bundle. So all of these buttons have the same color scheme. Okay, all right, up next is a bundle that is inspired by Simple Stories Vintage Ocean, which is a new collection from Simple Stories. I think this collection is really pretty, and if you go on cruises or you have pictures by the beach or the sea, this is perfect. And if you have that collection from Simple Stories, these are color coordinated to go with the Simple Stories Vintage Ocean collection. So those 12 buttons up there at the top are all of the buttons that are part of the Vintage Ocean bundle. Okay, up next we have some school buttons. This collection, or this bundle down here, is called the School Days, and it's 9 buttons in that bundle, and they're all school related. I love that little school bus. I think that's just adorable. So those are school buttons because school is started again. So I thought that would be appropriate to add to the store for August. Okay, next up is another bundle that's related to school. This one is called School Rocks, and it's 9 different buttons that each button has a different quote for school. So we have Eat, Sleep, School, Repeat, Ready to Rock This Class, #Student Life. I like that one too, Classroom Cutie. Okay, and then our last bundle down here that is for school are the school patterns. And so this last one here are just things like paper clips and a button that has back to school, some numbers, some letters, and just different buttons that are school inspired that are patterns. Okay, so let's see. The next one we have here is called Pretty in Gingham. And we have 3 different gingham patterns in gray, navy, and pink, plus a chevron pattern and some speckled patterns and also a floral. And so that's the buttons up here at the top. So there's 9 buttons in that bundle. And then I wanted to do something that had a theme on nurses or the medical profession. And so I did a bundle called Live, Love, Heal. And it's these 9 buttons down here at the bottom. And it has some things like a stethoscope. There is a nurse life button. Some of these you could use for if you had somebody in your family that was a doctor or a paramedic or something like that. Some of these buttons would still work for that. I didn't want them to all be nurse buttons. So there's a couple, one has RN, one has nurse life, and the rest of them are, you know, could be used for any type of healthcare worker. Okay. And then the last new bundle that we have that I added to the shop is called Mermaids and Friends. And it's the 9 buttons up here at the top. So we have some mermaids, some turtles, some starfish, some little flowers, and then some sea creatures, more mermaids, and there's a button that kind of looks like water. And then I also added a favorites bundle to the shop. These are all buttons that were already in the shop, but I created a bundle and they're part of the sale and they're summer themed. So all of the 9 buttons at the bottom here are part of the August favorites bundle. Okay, so that's all the buttons that were added to the button shop. And if you have any questions at all, you can send me an email at buttonshop@yespleasepapercrafts.com or leave a question in the comments of this video if you would like to ask any questions about how to place an order or what type of buttons I sell. Most of the people that purchase buttons from my store do purchase the plastic flat back. So it looks just like a traditional flare button, but on the back it's black plastic and it's much less dimensional than a traditional flare button. So it gives you the look of a flare button and that added dimension and texture without being too dimensional for your layout. See, I don't know what happened. I was recording and all of it just stopped. I know. It just all of a sudden just stopped recording all by itself. I know, it's such a pain. Okay, well, you got anything else you'd like to say, Miss Bella? No? Okay. Would you like to say goodbye to the YouTube people? And what else? Nothing else? Okay. Well, that's all we have. Y'all take care. Hope y'all have an awesome weekend, and we'll hope to see you next time. Bye now.